It's that time of year when we update Americans' ratings of the honesty and ethics of selected professions, something we've been doing on an annual basis for many years now. Let's look at the numbers here and see what we find. First thing I would highlight for you, the medical profession does very well. The top 3 professions that we tested this year in terms of their perceived honesty and ethics, this is the public making these perceptions, are in the medical profession. Nurses, congratulations, once again, top of the list. 80% of Americans rate the honesty and ethics of nurses as very high or high. I should point out 15 points higher than medical doctors, and pharmacists also at 65% tied with medical doctors. So nurses at the top of the list, then medical doctors and pharmacists. What's at the bottom of the list? Well, in recent years, it's been a battle between car salespeople and members of Congress. And for the last couple of years, members of Congress have actually lost out to car salespeople, and that's the same this year by 1 point. 8% of Americans rate the honesty and ethics of car salespeople as very high or high. 7% make the same rating for members of Congress. So members of Congress dead last on this list. That's been the case now for a number of years now. The members of Congress have been at or near the lowest in the list. That 7% is tied for the lowest we've ever measured, however, for members of Congress. Third, and significantly, we find the perceived honesty and ethics of police officers is down this year. Maybe not surprising, this poll was in the field at a time when there was all the news coverage of the grand jury results in Ferguson, Missouri, and in Staten Island, New York, and protests and what have you. 48% is the current very high rating for the honesty and ethics of police officers. That's down from 54% last year, and ratings in the 50s and 60s in previous years. So clearly, we see a hit in the perception of police officers. The key will be next year whether or not we see that go back up again. One final point. Clergy, members of the clergy, one of the lowest ratings we've had in a long time. Clergy now coming in at 46% for the very high rating. A lot of this, of course, has to do with the repeated scandals relating to priest abuse over the last several years, and that's one of the reasons we've seen clergy, we think, take a big hit, although our question does not differentiate between Catholic and Protestant clergy. Nevertheless, when we say clergy, presumably a lot of Americans are thinking of what I just mentioned, the scandal relating to Catholic priests. That's an update for you on Americans' views of the honesty and ethics of professions. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.